So our next speakers are from Fission 3.0. We've got Dev Randawa, he's chairman and CEO of the company, and Raymond Ashley, VPX. So gentlemen, take it away, please.
Thanks, Dave. I think we'll just start the slides, Andrea, and go through them. I think right now it's fascinating to have this conference with such a big disconnect between the commodity price and the stock prices we have. And, as Jordan has mentioned, the fundamentals have never been better for this industry. And unfortunately, exploration companies are going to get hit the hardest. So next slide. Next. I think, as you guys know, all of everyone listening, is that we've always had this slide up, but two things have happened in the last year that I've never seen in my 25 years of being in the industry. I first set up my first company with Rick Rule and a few others in 1996. We never had the Democrats on the side of nuclear power. Two, they never talked about green energy before, including nuclear power. Now we have that. So that's what I mean by the fundamentals are there. That's why Spot, Peter was able to raise so much money for Groskopf was because they need to put money somewhere. So next slide. So again, I think you guys have all heard this before. I think the fundamentals have changed the industry. Intermittent energy will not work. Next slide. Next slide. I've gone through the Fukushima. I've gone through a few of these ups and downs, and what amazes me now, this nuclear renaissance is music to all our ears. And so hopefully, I think the Americans do get serious about shutting down the Russian uranium. Whether that will show up in other ways, I don't know. I don't trust the entire resale system they have in place. Next, Andrea. Next. How are we different? I would say that when it comes to real estate, we always talk about location. I don't think there's anything more important for exploration company, the technical and, et cetera. If you bought a share of Strathmore back in, 2007, you look in your bank, you look in your account today, we would have 4 different stocks: Energy Fuels, Denison, Fission Uranium, and Fission 3.0. We've been building shareholder value for a long time. The key is to have good people around you. You have to raise money at the right time. And at the same time, you've got to have people that can take that money and put it to use. So I'm not going to bore you with the rest of it. We Peter Groskopf, when he was a Sprott, we split the company Canadian US, that got to Energy Fuel. This became Energy. We made a discovery next to Waterbury with the help of KEPCO, which we sold to Denison. I think our investment there was less than $2 million, and we've got quite a good return out of it, obviously. And then we were fortunate to go to the west side of the basin. Again, the Bible was you should not go to the west. They said you got to stay where MacArthur and and Cigar Lake are, and there's nothing out there. Also, we were told uranium had to be at the uniformity. We were also told it had to be in the basin. Triple R was not in the basin. Actually, it's outside. It's in basement, and it's on the west. And so, sometimes the way the little guys beat the big guys is we have to think outside the box, and that's kind of a technical team we have. What it means is that Fission 3.0 has got 16 projects. We own 100% of them, all staked. Everyone was staked. We didn't buy anything, didn't spend money on it. And we've got a team that can make a discovery at the unconformity, but also in the basement. So we have experiences in making actual discoveries that are economic, not 1 or 2 million pounds, 5 million pounds, much more. So I believe that's the most important thing you can have in this. You'll be well funded, which we have about $13.5 million. And we also have a technical team that can spend the money. We've also just started a joint venture with Traction Uranium. They're friends of Sprott. They came to us and they're putting $2.5 million in the ground this year alone. And that's will give us a few more properties to drill. Next slide. Wyoming, Saskatchewan, I think you guys all know. It's, I think, the best place to work. We have all, ticks all the boxes. Most of all, not in my backyard. We do not have NIMBY. Next. This is what I think is the key, is that we, a lot of people don't know that the Triple R was discovered by looking for boulders on the ground and flying all around the basin, and wherever there were boulders or there were outcrops, we grabbed it. So these projects that we have aren't just throwing mud against a wall. They're very picked for particular reasons, every one of them. And most of all, you know, we're fortunate to have Ray. Ross is on our board, but the technical team, the 12 of them, they're still together. It's hard to keep everybody employed, but we've been able to do that. And as a result, we're looking forward to, you know, we've already, we drilled 2 properties this spring, but we got another 3 more to go. Go ahead, next slide. You know what, this is for, people always ask, how the heck do you find uranium? Well, it's called vectoring, and this is essentially what we do, but it does vary, you know, and our technical team has done some crazy whack job ideas, but they've worked very well. Like, you know, almost like running a scintillometer in a boat, and we've done it and it worked, especially at Triple R, because uranium was so close to the surface. Next. This is how we identified all our projects. Kai was able to fly the basin, identify areas where we were, again, looking for outcrops. And again, everybody said, you're crazy to go to the west, you're crazy to go outside the basin, there's only unconforming deposits. And I think those of you know, that's what the mentality was. Now today, thankfully, Ross and Ray did not believe that. Next. Again, for those who wondering how you go from a boulder to this kind of slide explains you how you go from a boulder and what it took to find our team found the Triple R project. Next. This is a collection of all our properties. So we drilled up top, we did Hardy Bay number 11 and PLN. At PLN, we identified definitely a corridor which is running a few kilometers above, matching the one with Arrow and Triple R. And so we're happy about that. We've just finished doing some drilling also on Lazy Edward. There we were able to match the numbers we had before by 800 bits. We're gonna go back in again. But we're gonna be drilling Bird Lake, Seahorse, and Murphy Lake coming up this summer. And then we'll do more PLN, more up north. I don't know how much time we have, David, but Ray, if you could just talk about what you're looking forward to this summer.
About 2.5 minutes, guys.
Okay, Ray, go for it. You got 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, for sure. We're mobilizing right now. The drills are being, and the crews are being mobilized to Murphy Lake. That's number 14 there, which is 5 kilometers south of ISO's Hurricane deposit. The ground geophysics was done in the spring, just before the ice melted. We were thinking that the historic drilling on an east-west conductor on that property might wrap around. The ground geophysics confirmed that. There's a resistivity low, that resistivity survey that confirmed that, and there's alteration in what's interpreted to be in the lower part of the sandstone. That's always encouraging because it speaks to possible alteration. So the drill targets have been defined, and we're about to commence drilling there just in a couple of days. Geophysical crews have just finished the work at the A1 conductor at PLN, where we plan to drill in the fall. There's 3,000 meters and 7 holes in the fall at PLN. That's on the trend that we discovered in 2014 with sniffs of uranium and all the right signs for high grade uranium. So we're excited to look at those results and define. There's 800 meters of untested conductor, untested strike length on the A1 conductor. So, but immediately after Murphy Lake, which is that number 14, those geophysical crews have mobilized to Seahorse and Bird, which is 7 and 8 on that, on this image, not far really from Cigar Lake. So all in the right neck of the woods. The airborne geophysics has been interpreted. all the groundwork planned, and that'll generate our targets for the drilling immediately after Murphy Lake. So it'll be Murphy Lake, Seahorse and Bird, back to Hardy Bay to do some groundwork to get that project ready for drilling next winter again, and that's one of the ones where Traction is funding. They funded the drilling and they'll fund the work this summer. And then it's off to PLN. So we have, $8 million ahead of us for the rest of the year. And, the team's very focused. We've held these properties for a long time and done a lot of work to understand the potential. And we've now worked up the drill targets and quite excited to be able to get after them and aim to make a high grade uranium discovery. So we're hopeful.
Well, to wrap it up, I guess, how is Fission different is that, we've got a track record of the Triple R, but also the Waterbury. We've also had a history with management to be able to bring in we brought in 3 different utilities, and, whether it was Sumitomo or it was Korean Electric Power Company or with CGN from China. So I think that's important too. At the end of the day, we're an exploration company. We're well funded. I think our projects are pretty good, but obviously, like everybody else, we've got to, come up with 50 million pounds and go to the next level. So we have to make a discovery. So, but I like the fact that when it comes down to it, we have a good track record, which I think is everything when it comes to this industry, being able to find deposits, not resources, deposits. So I like that. And that's about it, David. I don't know what else to add.
Okay, thank you very much, Dev and Ray.